Welcome to Mornings in Meridian and the surrounding area, because this is the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. So we appreciate you being out there and joining us at 102.1 FM. Also, we have streaming options. You can go to WALTmeridian.com, stream the show right there. You can join us on, is the blue light on?
Facebook.
Oh, man, you can
Facebook.
You can join us on Facebook.
Facebook. Your favorite.
And you can also download, one of my favorite is that app. You can just download it onto your device, tap WALT, and listen to all our programming throughout the day, as my brother does from time to time, way down there in Central Florida. So kind of cool. It's cool, but it's also a little nerve-wracking knowing the family could be listening in.
That's right.
601-485-9191 is our talk line, though, and you can call that number from anywhere where you have your device or phone, or whether the phone's connected, or whether you have service, or whether you're hooked up to the big copper wire. Are you still... Who's hooked up to the big copper wire anymore? I know my father-in-law is. He still has a copper wire connection.
That's a good question.
But anyway, we can talk about that and much, much more, because we do have a caller waiting on the line patiently. Please hang on there, caller. We're getting right there to you. But we have to announce that coming up on the show, we're going to be talking about taxes. We're going to be talking about homestead exemption from your property taxes, because the tax assessor, Whitney Hodges, is on her way here. She's going to be here in the studio with us here shortly.
Very good.
In the meantime, I just went out on the limb and did it. I invited Ty Booker.
Look at you.
To come on the show on Tuesday. He's going to talk about life in the world of paint and body shops. And,
nice.
Of course, we talk about Premier Paint and Body Shop because they are the premier place to go to take your vehicle whenever you have a nick-ding, a big old crash, a scratch. Let's just put it this way. If you have a Tesla and somebody keyed it, just take it in there to Premier Paint and Body Shop. They'll make it look like new.
Oh, my. The Teslas. 601-482-PAINT is their number, 601-482-7246. Of course, you can get in touch with them today. They're located at 1210B, Highway 39 North in Meridian, right next door to Johnson Dodge. Of course, they got well over 100 years combined experience there at Premier. And no job is too small or too large for the folks down at Premier. They do auto body repair, painting, automotive glass replacement. They'll give you a free estimate today. And, of course, they work with all of those insurance companies as well. And just good folks in the office as well. So if you do get an accident and you need them to take the vehicle somewhere, well, you need to take them right to Premier Paint and Body. Go by and see them today, 1210B Highway 39 North, or call ahead at 601-482-7246. That is Premier Paint and Body.
All right, we must be the worms, Rob, because the early bird gets the worm. He's on the phone right now. Good morning, caller.
I beg your pardon.
The early bird gets the worm. Look at you.
You know,
up and at 'em.
I bet Premier could fix my fender skirts and Continental kits. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, because those things, those are down low. They can get dented sometimes.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
Fender
by the way,
skirts.
Thank you, Roger, for saying surrounding area. Makes me feel included. What can I say?
You are included, even though you are almost touching your toe on the Newton County line.
I sure am. Not far. Did either of you see Paul Davis from Northcrest Baptist Church's post?
I did not. I don't think Rob did either.
You realize
see Paul Davis's post from Northcrest?
I have not, so.
Yeah.
Do you realize that Butch Wilmore, who just returned from space on one of Musk's rockets, was a student in NAS Meridian and attended Northcrest Baptist Church?
Well, how about that? Well, there you go.
Well, Paul wrote a real good article there. And matter of fact, Billy and Cookie Britt Harper, who are
how's Cookie doing?
People I've known for a long time. They were the Sunday school teacher in the class where Butch was, and there was some other students. And Butch, by the way, was a test pilot for the T-45, which we see a few of those in the air around Meridian from time
We
to time.
like to see those in the air around Meridian because that means that the newest naval aviators are about to be winged and sent on their way to the fleet.
Absolutely. It was back in 1987
Wow.
when Butch and was a member of the Sun School class there at North Crest.
So it was
And
that
if you
far back?
pull up
They were probably flying T-2s back then.
Well, yeah, because if he was a test pilot for the T-45, that would be after
That'd be
he
after.
left here.
Yeah.
He was a Buckeye trainee.
He was a Buckeye trainee. That's exactly right. Back there in '87.
That's right. But anyway, if you pull up Paul's Facebook, and it's open to everybody, Facebook post, it also shows Butch giving credit to his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, which is pretty awesome too. But anyway, I just thought I would point that out. It's a great read and good information for us. And by the way, Roger,
Yes.
I saw vapor trails day before yesterday.
Vapor
I mean,
trails.
they filled the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
It's that
That's what
atmospheric
we call them.
vapor trails. Yeah,
Vapor.
that's what they are. I mean, it's basically crystallized vapor from the engines.
That's right.
Of those jet airplanes, and you get, you can be up in the air 35,000 feet, and the temperature's just not the elements are just not right for creating contrails. You see airplanes go by you, or at a distance. You don't get right up next to them, but you have a good distance away. You see them go by. There's no trail, but some days they're just putting it out like smoke.
Yep. One last comment, and I'll leave you guys alone.
You
for
just
this Friday.
don't leave us alone. You stay right there with us.
I had the awesome experience of watching 4 F-35s come across Key Field and peel off and land the other day out there.
You
What a great
lucky
experience.
I would love to have been able to see that. And I'm a airport
Man,
bum.
well, actually, there were 4 that landed, and then I think 3 more that came in. There were supposed to be 4 more that came in, but it was wonderful. I love to see those birds in the air. I hate to see them retiring these, and they're sending them to the boneyard now. The F-18s, the Hornets.
Oh, I know. Those Hornets have been great airplanes for a long time.
Well, they have, but they hadn't been in the air as long as those B-52s have. But anyway,
Do you
my
realize?
time's up.
You realize those when you go by? Let's take for example. You're talking about going by the airport because you coming from your part of the county. You see the airport every time you come into town. Just about.
Yep.
Years old. You just want you to know those tankers were built. They came off the assembly line before I did. So
JC-135s.
that's
Well, they're fixing to take them out of service too, I heard.
Well, I don't know what the deal is. I know they certified them for flying another, was about 10 years ago. They said they can fly another 50 years, but I'm hoping that I think we're getting close to the people that make those decisions, and I'm hoping we're going to get the new C-46 here in our fair city.
That would be wonderful and would give us a good glimpse of the future here in Meridian. But I drove by there the other day, and there was only one of those tankers on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what's going on? And the same day I saw the contrails, and I thought, ooh, something's going on somewhere,
They might have been out somewhere pumping gas.
Yeah, they probably were.
There you go.
I loved it when I was laying by the boomer watching them refill an F-15 here several years ago.
Is that
That
not
was a
just
great experience.
that is,
That was a great experience. I'll never forget that.
Rob, have you done that yet?
No.
We've got to get Rob on that one. Rob's got to go see that.
Let's do it.
I'll have to talk to.
I'm telling you, it's wonderful. And then they take you down there to the CBs and all the other stuff. Now. But anyway, I know it's time's up. You talk about taxes because I ain't talking about taxes, okay?
Well, we're going to talk about income tax too before we get to that. So.
Have you got your exemption filed?
Well, I've said this 1,000 times, but I'll repeat it. But the repeal of the state income tax is going to be a tax increase for me.
You know, I'm with you there.
I've got all the details on it coming up, so we got all the language here.
Because the sales tax will go up. Is that what you're saying?
Well, other taxes are going to go up. They've got to replace that revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't pay sales tax. State income tax on my retirement income right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the big change is going to be this the gas tax. It's going to be 3 consecutive years of a 3-cent increase.
I got you.
That's right. So I'll be paying that now.
That's okay. We're going to drill, and we're going to make this price lower so you won't be affected so much by your taxes.
Get to it.
Get to it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that out, though, because, yes, when I realized that, I'm reaching the age, too, where income tax here on the state level is not going to be much of a factor, that's like, ooh, okay. Yeah, I will be paying. I'll be right there with you there, Jay Slay.
Okay, R. Burke, you have a cool day, and you too, R. Atkinson.
Yes, sir.
Keep that red light burning there in me hand, okay?
We got the wires crossed.
Bye.
There you go. 601-485-9191 is our talk line. And good to hear Jay Slay out of the gate this morning.
Yeah, he was referencing the big tax cuts yesterday.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, the House of Representatives voted 92-27 with the Senate changes to HB 1, passing a tax relief package aimed at phasing out the state income tax. Now, here's some details on this.
It's going to be a long phase, though.
Yeah. It says the measure cuts the current income tax rate of 4% by 0.25% each year until 2030. The first cut would take place in 2027. After 2031, future cuts will be determined by the performance of the state's economy. The bill proposes an immediate 2% cut to the sales tax on groceries, bringing the rate from 7 to 5% starting July 1 of this year.
Oh, that's nice.
To keep cities whole, 18.5% of the general sales tax and 25.9% of the grocery sales tax will go to cities. Now, the measure includes a 3-cent increase on gasoline to occur each year for 3 consecutive years, making the total increase 9 cents per gallon. It also would establish a new Tier 5 for state employees hired after March 1 of 2026. Of course, talking about the state retirement and PERS, where 4% of their retirement savings would be placed in a defined benefit plan and 5% would go to a defined contribution plan. Of course, quoting the article from the Magnolia Tribune yesterday. But so that's kind of the details on what was passed yesterday. And by the way, your local delegation did vote yes on this. Mr. Calvert, of course, Mr. Horn, and the rest did vote for this. So,
and this is this has to go to the Senate. Is that where this has to go?
Well, the way the article says, they're concurring with the Senate changes to HB 1.
So it's all part of that. Okay.
So the changes that came from the Senate came back to the House, and the House approved it. So
there it is.
So there it is.
Governor going to be signing this.
That's right.
Let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I didn't get a chance to respond to Robbie's statement yesterday. I called, but I didn't get a chance to talk. But Robbie, I totally agree with you that the press secretary that we have right now is probably the best one we've had.
Yes, ma'am.
She is super smart. But the thing about it is, she really has to. I'm sorry. But I need to point this out because we were talking about the Statue of Liberty. See, with the Statue of Liberty, we have to remember that the person whose idea it was, that French person, was a historian and also an abolitionist. So his idea was to have this monument, this statue, given to us. And but his idea was that we would be celebrating the end of slavery in this country. And so when they put it together and sent it, whoever the president was, I don't remember right now, said you have to change the face. Now, the face of it was the lady, with the same thing that we have now, but she had a big nose and thick lips. And because you see, the person whose idea it was he was celebrating the end of slavery, and he was celebrating the men who joined Abraham Lincoln to help us win that war. We could not have won
Republican.
that war had it not been for black men who joined to help Abraham Lincoln, and so that is why the women was a black woman. That was, and then so they sent it back, and then another person decided, all right, well, we'll change the face of it and this sort of thing so that it doesn't, people are not looking at the black thing. And then we got all into the
Let's see if we can sharpen the nose on this lady.
Well, the nose and the mouth, all right. And so what happened is another person came on board to do that particular job and everything. And so, and I guess about 12 or 15 years later, this lady came about talking about giving me your poor, your the masters and all of that.
Yeah.
That came about 20 years after the first.
Yeah, I do recognize that poem did come
that
later.
Came later.
Yeah, I do
so
recognize
now
that.
People are talking about the immigrants or this. That is not what the Statue of Liberty was about. It was about that first person who was in charge of it. It was about freeing the slaves.
You're trying. The person you're trying to think of is Edouard de La Bollier.
Oh yes, I believe that does.
I believe that's who you're trying to think of.
I think so.
Or let's see if I can say that better. Edouard de La Bollier. De Bollier.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Now, the other thing is talking about this guy. Wait just a minute. The president. The president. I think what we have some good news about the president in terms of the proclamation, President Trump, who issued the proclamation for Black History Month, and in his proclamation, he has said that every year, National Black History Month is an occasion to celebrate the contributions of so many Black American patriots who have indelibly shaped our nation's history.
Yes.
Throughout our history, Black Americans have been among our country's most
Donald Trump has said something that you like.
Yes, shaping.
Hey, look at here.
Shaping the cultural,
gotcha.
and political destiny of our nation. And he goes on to name 4 people: Frederick Douglass, and the person that we're talking about putting the $20 bill on, Harriet Tubman, and Justice Clarence Thomas, and this Thomas Sowell.
And this is a good opportunity, and yeah, those are all fantastic names to be mentioned. They're outstanding individuals. There's no question about it. But the thing that I think that is important, because the Democrat Party during the campaign wanted to paint Trump as a racist, but he has always been friends with the blacks. I mean, he has always embraced them equally. And
that was never my problem.
No, I'm not accusing you. I've just said this is a good opportunity to say, I'm not the only one that's a little defensive here. No,
okay.
I'm talking about the Democrats who were trying to smear him with, and they tried so many different ways to do it, but they tried to use this whole idea about him hating the blacks, and that is nothing further from the truth. And shown by his endorsement of Jesse Jackson back when he was running for president.
No, but no.
Not endorsement, but
totally
support.
Agree with that. No, I think everybody knew that. See, it's one thing when you know in your head what the problem is, and you're taking advantage of it. I think there were many people who knew who believed and still do that the president saw an opportunity, all right, to become president of this country. And so a lot of people who are racist and his base, people are saying, that was the base thing, and he capitalized on that. I don't think there were people who really believed it. As a matter of fact, how in the world that particular woman who was a competition for the present wife that he has, he was dating those people. He had been dating that woman who is half black for about 5 years, and then the lady that he's married to came on the scene, and he could not decide between those two women. That is when this thing stopped. And there was a time, if you remember, when she just decided she was going to be out of there because they were going in and out of his office, one in, one out, and all of that. And then his friend said to him, "Look, this is the realization that we have," because they liked the black girl better. His friend said, and they said, "You want to become president of this country, and you are not going to be able to have both of these things. You cannot become president of this country in today's world and also marry this woman. You can't have both of them. A choice has to be made." And that is the thing that ended that relationship with that black woman.
Yeah, I'm not.
So,
you're more up on. You're obviously more up on that story than I am. There's no question about it. Listen, we've got to take a break coming up here. But Ruth, good to hear from you. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Be
bye.
Be sure and write when you find work. And let's see what else. Be sure and
No, but I want
hug
you
a child
to,
today. That's
to
it.
read the president's. Please read the president's proclamation. The black.
I got you. Got you. All right. There you go. Yeah, that was last month.
Nice
Yeah.
day.
Thank you. Thank you. Mornings in Meridian coming up next. We're going to be visiting with the tax assessor. Yes, Whitney Hodges is at the door. We're going to go let her in. And should we let her in, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to let her in. And then we'll be to 102.1 FM or 9. Excuse me. Clear that frog out of the throat there.
That's a throwback.
Yeah. Anyway, Roger here, along with Rob Atkinson.
Good morning, folks.
And tell you what, we're looking forward to our next guest. She is the tax assessor for Lauderdale County in Mississippi. There are other Lauderdale counties. It's just, in other states. So I want to clarify, it's ours. She's our tax assessor. Gonna own that. All right, we are.
She had a tough campaign last time, too. So.
Well, you see who she was running against.
That's right.
Herself.
It was tough.
That was tough. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, too. That's right. But in the meantime, before we do, let's remind people that we have some really dear friends up there on Highway 19, right next to the Golden Arches, and I'm talking about the cars at Truckers.
That's right. Trucker Supply, of course. Tool Central down there at 519 Highway 19 South. Of course, they've got Milwaukee tools, Mississippi-made products. And, of course, they've also got the Yeti products as well, your mugs, coolers. Hey, Easter's around the corner. Mother's Day's around the corner. Gift ideas, just saying. Yeti would look good. Just throwing it your way.
Well, we've always said Truckers is a great place to do gift shopping.
Exactly. So
there's nothing in there. I mean, you cannot get in there now without finding something you want or need.
Now, it is spring officially. It may not be pressure washing season today, but the pollen is getting everywhere. And to get that pressure washing job done, they have hot seat pressure washers down there at Tool Central. So ask about those. Streamlight flashlights, the list goes on. So go by and see them at Trucker Supply, 519 Highway 19 South, and like them on Facebook as well. They always got some great reels on there, so go check them out there as well. That's Trucker Supply.
That's right. All right, here she is. As we said, she's the tax assessor for Lauderdale County. Welcome. We're so glad you're out there, Ms. Whitney Hodges.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
I'm thinking, what else can I do on a nice cold Friday morning? I know, I'll go the radio show.
Let's go.
Nothing better. But, folks, I got to tell you, she came bearing gifts, and this will be only for our Facebook people here, but I'll just tell you right now, look what she did here. We've got Peeps, we've got Oreos, we've got popcorn bags, Kit Kats, a whole basket full of things.
It's your early Easter basket. There you go.
And what
an adult Easter basket.
An adult Easter basket. Yeah.
Exactly. And
so the washing detergent's at the bottom of that.
And if my basket looks this good, I can only imagine what she's going to get robbed. Anyway.
Oh, please share.
Oh, she's like, now sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. I think I definitely will. There's a lot
of
stuff in there. That's good. Well, thank you for that. That's very kind of you.
You're very welcome.
It's not even election year, and she brought us this.
Like I said, that was a tough campaign.
Yeah. Again, congratulations, running undefeated, and of course, it's well. I think this is a good direction for the county because of the fact that you have been involved with the tax assessor's office for many years. I don't know how many, but you do.
This would be 14, I think.
14 years.
So, yes, sir. And thanks to Mr. Rainey's great leadership and our great team, we've got the best group of coworkers anybody could ever ask for.
Yeah, I saw the Lucky Charm squares that they made for your.
It's a lot of fun.
She showed a picture of that for Monday when St. Patty's Day.
Yeah,
exactly.
Got to write that down and suggest that to Nikki. Maybe see if she wants to do that for us next year.
She probably would.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, well, welcome. You're here to talk about. Let's talk about the property taxes. It's Fun Friday, Rob. What else do you want to talk about?
Exactly, taxes. I think
Property taxes.
A lot of tax talk this week.
So, with this year being that major tax increase, have you encountered a lot of friction in your office?
Well, we've had some interesting discussions for sure, but I think pretty much everyone...
Did you see how she handled that? We've had some interesting discussions.
Oh, I bet.
Y'all just trying to rip me off!
But I think most everyone has kind of come to see that the values are what the values are.
Sure.
So we've kind of gotten over the hump, thank goodness. And now we're just working on Homestead and getting ready to do all the renditions from all the businesses if they will hopefully turn their renditions in. And so that was why we were coming this morning to talk about Homestead and over 65 Homestead. And
Well, before we talk about what's a rendition,
it's basically a report card of what you have in your business.
oh, okay,
Kind of like
So
an inventory
it's kind
type.
of an inventory,
I remember
a
that one.
checklist, an asset listing of what you have in your business. And every single year, you're supposed to sign it and send it back to us. And for some reason, we don't get them every single
So what does that include when you say like like everything in your office, filing
Right.
cabinets and just anything? I
Right.
guess.
Desks,
computers, roach
phones.
traps, anything you have
Camera
to,
system.
anything,
Yeah.
mouse traps.
Pretty much anything you use to
Yeah.
To
your
everyday business.
To
Yeah.
your everyday business. yes.
Having been in business, I'm being a little facetious, you understand, but that's
Right.
the way it
That's
is.
okay.
You didn't make that law.
I did
Not holding
not.
that against you.
I am so sorry. I
Not
did
when you bring
not.
those Peeps and Oreos. No, but that's
But it is very important. It's a
Yeah.
big source of revenue for the county, and we want to try to be as accurate as we can. And and the way we do that is by getting that rendition back. It's kind of like I said, a report card. Kind of says what you've added and what you've deleted, and it's real simple to fill out. And you just sign your name on the back and mail it in. And
Well, on a personal note, have you been by the old Graham transfer site and see what I have in my
I
office? Okay,
have.
good.
I have.
There's my rendition.
You've removed some things.
That's a lot of subtractions.
Major subtraction going on. All right,
Yes.
that's a personal note. Now let's
Yes,
get into. You said you're deep into the homestead. Now, are we approaching a deadline pretty soon?
We sure are. April the 1st. April the 1st is the deadline for homestead and for renditions. So if you purchased anything last year or unfortunately got divorced or married or had a death in the family or anything
Was that
like
unfortunate for the divorce or unfortunate for the divorce and the married? Which
whatever
flip a
floats your
coin.
boat.
trying to put words in it around there. Yeah, all right. No, yeah,
So
but yeah, if
you
something
just
has
come-
changed, yeah.
Right. You just come and basically update your application with us.
Mm-hmm.
And things are moving rather quickly and smoothly. They've already done over 1,150 homestead applications this year.
All
so
right. Well, people, and there might be a new homeowner out there that's listening. So explain really what homestead exemption means for them.
it is the one good tax break you get. It basically means that your property is assessed at a lower rate.
Mm-hmm.
So on single-family owner-occupied properties, they are assessed at 10%. Everything else is assessed at 15%. And you think, oh, well, that's only 5%, but actually it's a lot more than that when you put the millage to it. So, for example, a $100,000 home would be assessed at $10,000. So you would only pay taxes on the $10,000 as opposed to
Very
a
nice.
business would be on $15,000.
And there was a key statement you made, and that is single-family dwelling owner-occupied.
Yes, sir. That's
So
correct.
tell me how that works. I mean, as far as I can't, you hear people, well, I have a double residence. I have a home here in Meridian, and I have a home in Florida or Alabama, whatever. Can you do homestead on both of those
No,
properties?
sir. No, sir. In Mississippi, it has to be your primary residence, so you have to own and occupy it as of January the 1st, and you need to file income taxes in Mississippi and have car tags in Mississippi. So it's for Mississippi residents.
Mississippi residents.
So
you've got-
no double dipping, Roger.
Okay, all right, all right. Okay, got it. I was just trying to think of, those many houses I
Your
have.
beach house.
Yeah, the one in my mind that I'm hoping I'm going to have one day.
Just like that oceanfront property I've got.
That Gulf Coast town of Meehan.
That's right. Exactly.
If you stand on the tree and look to this left, you can see a little bit of the Chunky River basin there. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so it's time to get down. What's the deadline for people getting there? Now, it won't be actually for homestead this year, will it? It would be for the.
No, it'd be for this year.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so-
It'd be for this year, and it's
Okay.
April 1st, and we are going to be open next Saturday, March the 29th, from 8 to 12.
Oh,
Mr. Rainey started that years ago, trying to help people that had older parents or something,
Sure.
or worked full time and couldn't get in during the week. So we're open one Saturday a month each month, and there's
which-
only 1 month left, so it's
And
March
which Saturday is that?
the 29th,
the
a week
29th.
from tomorrow.
Okay, so
A week from tomorrow, 8 to 12.
all right,
in
so
the
Saturday
new
morning.
building, in the new government complex
New
building.
government complex
Government.
building. next to the soon-to-be Chick-fil-A.
Yes, indeed. We're watching it. It's
They're all
already in process.
They're gonna have their binoculars out, like
Exactly.
watching where they're building it. Like, I'm watching you.
Did they do a survey with all the offices and say, which fast food would you like to have here?
I wish that they had, because
Yeah.
I think we probably all would have chosen Chick-fil-A.
There we go. I think that'd have been overwhelming.
I
Very
mean,
good.
a peach milkshake.
Oh, don't get me started. Oh, it's so good.
That would be great.
I'm diverted now. Like I just saw a squirrel. Peach milkshake. It's on my mind.
Those are good.
All right, so tell us about this homestead exemption. So you go down. What's all involved to file? If I come down there to say, okay, I've bought this house or I own this house and I want to get the homestead exemption, what is it I need to bring to your office to get that done?
Like you, date of birth, social security number, the street address of the property, how much you paid for the property. If you're over 65, we need something to show you're over 65, a driver's license, birth certificate, whatever you have there.
Wrinkles.
And then a copy, just your car tag numbers written down. You know, you don't have to have the actual tags, just the numbers written down on a piece of paper. And so we key it all in the computer, and we'll ask a few questions and have you sign and have you in and out in 10, 15 minutes.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Real quick process.
There you go, Rob.
Very good.
Do you remember going through that process?
And we,
It's been a while for me.
A lot of process.
I have been through that.
And we
That's
can
pretty-
also
pretty
give
good.
everyone an estimate too. So, you know,
Okay.
for example, like if you built a new house and you just didn't know how much your taxes were going to be, we could give you an estimate of
Okay.
taxes based on the current millage, not on the anticipated millage, because of course we don't know that. But,
Right.
Mhm.
So we do a good many of those as well.
All right, so
Very
estimate.
good.
Any questions that people have tax-wise, you're welcome. If you're a property owner, you have some questions about taxes, I'm sure in the few minutes we have left that Whitney would be glad to take your call. If you have a question about taxation, property taxation for that matter, that's what you're really involved in is property taxes.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And as far as the assessment, I know that this year was ugly because assessments went up.
It was very hard. It really was. But we have a system and we have to follow it. And, you know, through COVID, a lot of things increased in value. A whole lot of things due to the supply chain and all that good stuff.
So now tell me, remind us again how that process took place. What was it that you applied to the properties to bring that adjustment?
Right. We have an index, and we actually look at the market. So we do an analysis over 4 years, and then at the end of the 4 years, we really take a look at what things have sold for and what things cost to construct, and we basically put an index on all of the property in the county. And this year it did go up a good
I didn't know your job had so much homework.
It does, and a lot of math, a whole lot of math.
You have people for that?
Yes, sir.
I was going to say,
And
'cause,
spreadsheets,
I mean, you're intelligent enough to do that. I get it, but that sounds like something you need to have some help with.
computers. Thank God for
Gotcha. Okay.
But-
So,
But it was needed. It really was needed. It's hard for us to.
because assessment had not been done for 4 years, or
Well, no, sir. We do 25% every year, and then
Okay.
in the fourth year is when we really just do the market analysis, when we look at the sales and see what's really happened in the sales.
so 25% of all properties are done each year.
Each
So that in 4 years you've
4
done them all.
years, yeah.
Right. You
And
have
then the
them all
fourth
done.
year being
Because,
also
I
a
mean-
market comparison.
So that cycle came up this year, obviously.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
And I mean, there's 46,000 parcels in Lauderdale County. We're one of the larger counties in the state, so it takes a while. That's like 12,000 parcels.
Has
a year
anybody
that we look
told
at.
Jackson that we're one of the largest counties in the state?
I don't think
has-
so.
has
Are
anybody
you trying to
said
get the capital moved
Hey,
here?
Billy, Adam, and Jeff, just if y'all are listening, let sure they know over there we're one of the largest counties in the state.
That's right.
That's right.
Don't forget about us over here in East Mississippi.
Exactly.
601-485-9191 is our talk line. Good morning. You have a question about taxes, property taxes?
Oh yeah, let's ask about property tax. How come this year, not 4 years ago, and why not? Why won't it happen again 4 years from now? We get stuck like this.
It actually does happen every 4 years. We have
I know that. I'm talking about the huge amount, the 15 to 20% is what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. Well, that was based on what things have actually sold for and what things it costs to actually build things, replacement cost.
So
And
4
cost to
years ago,
construct.
that same increase wasn't happening.
No, sir, it did happen. but at that time we did not have that much of an increase in the market value of everything in the county.
So if we get a lot of building and they increase, we're going to get stuck with this again 4 years from now, possibly.
Well, I hope not, because we've got a large industry coming that's going to hopefully help all the taxpayers of the county. So,
I don't understand how that's going to lower our help individual. I mean, for your property evaluates for such amount. I mean, that's what you got to pay, whether there's other income coming in or not, doesn't it? But anyway, I'm just like a lot of people. Everybody knows that the supervisor's salary is based on property tax, and very unhappy about this huge increase during a terrible economy. And not the first one of them would put up there in that chair and raise a hand to reduce the millage. But anyway, thank you for answering my question.
yes, sir.
All right. Chuck's back in town.
Hey, Chuck.
We didn't get the call on the Southern Miss score, so we know he's back in town now. He was out of town earlier.
Yes, Chuck. Solly called yesterday.
Yeah, Solly did call yesterday.
Yeah, Solly called yesterday.
Citizen
Solly.
I'm sorry, but this is a whole different topic.
Who pays it?
We got off track.
Whose values probably also went up too.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that-
unfortunately, mine did too.
But he says something that.
Yeah, I mean it's.
But he said something that I realized that probably most of what the county would have done would have been a kind of a token reduction of millage. But I just felt like that was the city did it. It's like okay, that was at least showing some sort of idea of hey let's
We're thinking of you.
yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah.
But no, the county dug in and said no, not at all. And I think he has a point on that. So that wasn't your that wasn't your office. That
that's
was
the supervisors. That's not you. So
and we don't want to get on the supervisors, do we?
I do.
Except the one that comes. Except the one that comes and visits us from time to time.
The only one.
Oh, JJ. Yeah, there you go.
But maybe in the future they can take a look at that, and maybe
Yeah,
in
sure.
the future they can lower the millage rate based on new.
Because
Construction in the county.
everything you do obviously is millage rate, and of course stuff that's passed down through the state too. So
Yes,
yeah.
that's correct.
Now you talk about the market analysis every 4 years. Do you keep your finger on the pulse of the market each year leading up to that, or is that just something you wait
Yes.
4 years and say, "Oh wow, look what's happened over these 4 years"?
No, we actually do, and there's always been discussion about should we go up every year a little bit, but I think that most people wouldn't like that. So, and once every 4 years, just that's the way the system's set up. So that's kind of the way that we've maintained it. But we do try to keep up with it every single year. Yes, we do sales letters and sales files every single year.
Okay.
Try to keep up with what things are selling, and things are selling for some good money right now.
Well, I've
They
always
really
said
are.
that, if I'm not defending the taxation at all, other than the fact that I know that as a property owner, I think most property owners would never sell their property for what it's assessed for.
That's correct.
So I get that. We wouldn't want
Hopefully
to take
sell it
that
for
kind of a
more.
loss.
Right.
So, but at the same time, it's all about the percentages and the numbers, and that big of a pop was like, oh wow, okay. Hey, rents just went up this year. Everything had to kind of respond to the tax increase.
Exactly.
So it's part of life. Now, am I reading the market right, or is there a sense? I'm getting a sense that maybe prices are starting to level a little bit or calm down a little bit.
That's what I've heard as well. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I believe so, and it'll be interesting to see if the actual market will go down in Meridian. It seems like we're slow to go up and we're slow to go down. It's going to be interesting to see. I think Steve Corey or some of the realtors could probably give you a better idea of what things are actually selling for. We send out the letters and hope and pray that people send them back in.
So what she's saying is we're not a leading indicator here in our county.
That's right.
We're not leading
Exactly.
indicator.
Exactly.
All righty. Well, there you have it. So just a reminder, folks, that if you are, this is, let's all just face facts. None of us really own property, because the point is you're renting it from the government. If you don't believe me, just don't pay your taxes for about 3 years, and you'll find out that the renter has, the landlord has kicked you out.
Exactly.
So
You'll find out quickly.
just remember, your rent went up, so that's what happened. All right, morning's in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. Welcome.
Well, good morning. I have a question, but I want to at least make a quick comment. The new industry, the Compass Group coming in, is supposed to bring a great deal of additional revenue. Then it will be up to the next group of supervisors or those supervisors to determine the needs in order and to determine if they would do something so different as to lower the millage rate, which could happen with the right supervisors.
Yes, sir.
I know I don't make a lot of sense all the time, but
that makes sense there.
Sense?
Yeah.
It does, and they will have the opportunity with this new industry if they actually
I'm
build.
sorry, my phone is Ms. Hodges. I'm calling just because of that, but I also after hearing that. But one other question I've got to ask is it legal for a person that has rented his home to have homestead exemption and not be living in it?
You're saying if you own a home, you rent it out, and obviously you're not living in the home, you're living somewhere else. Okay.
Mr. Williams,
Right. Are you able to? Is it legal to have homestead exemption? Or do you qualify for homestead exemption under that circumstance?
no, sir, you shouldn't qualify. The problem comes in for our office is verifying that. There is a stipulation in the law whereby if you are, say, for example, put in a nursing home and live in a nursing home, but you still own your primary residence, you're entitled to homestead in that home for up to 10 years while you're in a nursing home. If, like, for example, the example you're giving is more like if somebody just has a home and they move somewhere else and decide to rent it out, it's very difficult for our office to be able to verify that. So that ends up being handed over to the Department of Revenue, because what they do is they verify where you pay your personal income taxes. So, for example, if a person rented out their home and lived in another state and filed income taxes in another state, then their homestead would be kicked out in Mississippi for not being a resident of Mississippi.
Were you able to hear that,
So
Tom?
I heard that.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Okay.
had turned the radio up.
Yeah.
I'm able to hear now.
Good.
I'm actually learning how to use a smartphone, and it's always been smarter than me. But
Yeah.
Another 10 or 15 years, I might know how to operate this thing.
Yeah.
But
Well, what she's
but
talking
I
about
did.
is, the idea is verifying whether somebody is actually doing what you're saying is the challenge. It's kind of like people saying that you're a nice guy. That's one thing, but that's trying to verify that. That's a whole different story, right? I'm joking. I'm joking, Tommy. I'm joking.
Well, and it is
Look,
it is hard for us to verify all of the homes. I mean, we've got somewhere around 16,000 homesteads on record right now in the county of Lauderdale. So to verify that every single person actually lays their head down to rest every night under the roof is
Yeah, I
very
can't imagine
difficult.
that knock on the door. I'm here to verify whether you're the owner or not. Yeah, I get it. We don't want that, do we?
No.
Yep.
well, I'm certain it would be impossible to verify if Mr. Percy Bland owns his home still, just because he's living in an apartment. He's not in a nursing home. Yes, I'm getting into the anyone but Percy.
Oh, okay, I get you. All right.
You didn't cut me off quick enough, Mr. Rogers.
Listen to you.
I hear you. All right.
But I know I'm not going. Nobody's going to be able to verify anything for sure by April 1, and that's my deadline.
Oh.
But thank you so much for taking my call.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
there you
Yes,
go.
sir.
Good. Well, that's a realistic question. How do you verify whether somebody's actually claiming homestead on a home that they're renting out to someone else, that kind of thing. All righty. Well, let's take another call. Good morning. You have a question for Ms. Hodges.
Yeah, I do. I was calling to find out. We just moved here last year, and was wondering, do we have to file for homestead this year,
Did you purchase?
or would it have been done in our paperwork?
Oh, no, sir. You need to actually come to our office. So if you purchased a home in 2024, you would need to come see us this year before April the 1st and
Okay,
file for
all right.
homestead.
Thank you very,
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Please do come see us. We're open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and we'll be open next Saturday from 8 to 12.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Thank you
there
for
you go.
calling.
Okay.
Got to get down there and put that filing in there.
There
So
you go.
There you have
Very
it.
good.
Well, it's Mornings in Meridian, and we are coming to the end of our here. But this is tough, so this is good. So Whitney Hodges, tax assessor, Lauderdale County. Anything that you want to tell our listeners that we have not covered yet?
No, sir. Just to repeat, we're going to be open March the 29th from 8 to 12. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And the deadline is April the 1st for homestead, and to please, please, please turn in your renditions for all the businesses and industries out there. It's very, very important.
What happens if they don't?
They get a penalty, 10%, which also doesn't sound like much, but it's 10%
Well, if you don't like
of the
paying
value.
taxes, you really shouldn't like paying penalties. On taxes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
right.
Isn't it amazing how April 1st is like a deadline for everything? We vote that day. And we
Why is it that everything tied to the government is April Fool's Day? Why is that? Somebody please explain this to me.
April 1.
Or wait a minute. Maybe it's self-explanatory.
So we just lump them all into one day.
All right. We got time for one more call. Good morning. You have a question for Ms. Hodges.
Good morning, gentlemen and lady. How are you all doing this morning?
Mr. Mayor.
Doing
morning.
well. Mayor of Sucalina, Mr. Benny, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I have a question for illustrious tax assessor. If you have a house, you're over 65, you file for homestead exemption. If I understand what you said, you're at a lower rate, and if it's a $100,000 house, it would be assessed right at $10,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Well, that's the percentage. Yes, sir. So it would be 10% of what the value was. Yes, sir.
Well, my house must be overly rated in because it's valued at a little over, I think, $85,000, and
Yes, sir.
I built it and paid $22,000 for it.
Yes, sir. Well, it appreciates, if you take good care of it.
You must have been in that house about 40 years.
Just about.
How about that for my math, huh?
There you go.
Hey.
That's very good. Very good. But now, being over 65, you are entitled to that extra exemption, and it actually exempts you up to $75,000 in value if you're over 65. And then back in 2018, the legislature did do a good law whereby they freeze your value when you turn 65. So the value shouldn't increase for your taxing purposes. Now, if you sell it today, hopefully you would get more than that for it. But it
So in
does
other words,
freeze the value.
you should not be paying property taxes then.
Not very much for him.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well, that's what I say. They valued it $85,000 for homestead exemptions, and it's not worth what that'd be $800,000 at 10%.
Yeah.
Oh no, sir. We might be talking about two different things. The value that you see on your card, it's got true value and then assessed value. So the true value is going to be the market value, and the assessed value is going to be the true value times the percentage.
Which is what was frozen at 65.
Right, which is what it was frozen at 65.
They're going to continue to increase the value of your house through the years, so that when you do sell it, the next buyer is going to have to pay the current valuation. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Very good. Do you need
trying
another part-time job?
I do.
There you go. Add another one to the list.
I'm trying to get Randy out of his job. That's what I want. I want Randy's job. No.
I'm trying to figure out, though. You said 10% of 100,000. So if my house is valued at 200,000, I would be paying 20%. which would be
20,000.
much lower than what I'm paying now. If I understand what you're saying.
Mm.
Mr. Benny, I'd probably need to look at it to be able to tell you exactly. I don't have your information in front of me.
Next time you fire up the Kaiser, bring it down to the courthouse and let her take a look at that card.
Right, and
Or she can pull it up right there on the computer for you.
Exactly. Or please call
Right.
me. Call me later today at the office.
Yeah,
I'll
you
be
can call her
happy
at
to
the
look it
office.
up. We'll be happy to look it up.
Now, how does that make you feel? Benny, how does that make you feel? We froze your value at 65. See, you ain't worth anything more than you were 30 years ago.
Well, that's all right. I'm getting older, and I'm probably not worth near as much.
No. You were worth a whole lot more. We appreciate you so much, Brother Benny. Had to mess with you a little bit.
Yes, well, that's fine. And thank you. I appreciate the information, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Mr. Benny. Good job. I appreciate that. Well, we're not going to let you go because the phones just keep lighting up. So you thought you had to, if you had to be at the office at 8 today, you're late.
That's okay. I think they know where I am.
Oh, okay.
They can handle it.
She's at work. She started work at 7:35. So there you go. Good morning, caller. You have a question for our tax assessor? That'd be a no. Hey, good morning, caller. You have a question for our tax assessor?
I absolutely do.
Good. Go ahead.
I know every year you're begging people to come in and file for homestead exemption, and I've never known any government entity to beg you to come save money. So my question to you is,
That's good. That's a good one.
Does Lauderdale County receive government assistance for every person who files homestead exemption? Do you make any money by people filing homestead exemption? In other words, does the government reimburse you?
That's a great question, and the answer is sort of yes. The state reimburses the county. They're supposed to do it, the $300 credit that you get on your homestead. They're supposed to do all of it, I believe, but they end up only sending us about $100, I think, per homestead.
So still not making money.
Less than that.
Even if they paid you what was deducted, you'd be breaking even anyway. So evidently not making money.
No, sir, not making any money.
Not making money. It's just odd that
It's a great question.
Every county just harps on that, and it's usually just weird for a government entity to beg you to come.
Well, I think it's
take
because
money out of the pockets.
Yes, sir, but I think it's because it's literally the only way that we can really help you with your taxation is by saying come in and file for homestead, because we want you to.
And I would be willing to bet every county doesn't have somebody as conscientious as Whitney Hodges to come in and do that begging like that.
Well, that's probably
true. And you said there's 16,000 people who actually has signed up for homestead exemption in Lauderdale County.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
how
sir.
many actual physical residences in Lauderdale County?
Ooh.
Well, she said there's 46,000 properties.
Parcels.
Good
Right,
point.
So
Good point.
Land. That's a great question too. I would venture to say we've just recently pulled some reports in the county, and I think the county's got like 15,000 maybe. So the city's probably got 30. There's a lot of rental property. So there's a lot of single-family dwellings that have been converted to rental property.
Total of 45,000 properties, though.
So and that kind of leads to the question, in the city, how many actual homestead exemptions is filed in the city limits? Do you know that?
I do, but I don't have it with me. I want to say in the city it's about 8,000.
Okay.
In
just
the
trying
county,
to tie
7,000.
into the amount of people that's actually in the city, because this the new deal with the rental agreement deal of some of these properties end up being sold, and
yes, sir. That's a good question.
It could really flip-flop the taxes greatly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, it could, because they're paying more taxes. Those rental properties are paying more taxes than the single-family dwellings.
Yeah,
that's
8,000 people in the city of Meridian homes. So it basically says you pretty much get about 8,000 real owners and real people living in the city, and the rest is probably rental.
Yes, sir. Could be.
That's a wild number.
Yeah, good. There you go. You're out there thinking.
Oh, hey, look, and I think, I always go up and look up stuff. I went back, Ruth called in talking about, I hate to bring this up, Ruth called in talking about that Statue of Liberty and all that stuff being changed. I Googled all that. That's all a myth.
It is?
That was not sent back. It was not done that way. You can look it up. It's been debunked. There's no proof that any of that ever happened.
Oh, okay.
Doing a quick Google search.
All right.
Clicking a search.
That's that.
Clicking a search.
All right. Dr. Google speaks again.
You usually, if you tell a lie long enough, people tend to believe it, and you believe it yourself.
Okay.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate you.
There
Yes,
you
sir.
are.
Thank you.
You're out there thinking. Anyway, all right. Well, it's the tax assessor's joy to come to the studio and to take these questions and invite you to come and save some money. If you own property and you dwell in it, then go get your tax reduced by filing homestead exemption by next, what's the first?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Tuesday.
By a week from this coming Tuesday, because
And they'll be open next Saturday.
That's correct. 8
All
to
right.
12.
There you go.
Well, very good. Well, I want to say a big thank you for taking time to be here. We do have to get a break in here. And Whitney Hodges, if you have any questions for her, what's a good number for them to reach you down at the courthouse?
Yes, sir.
Government complex. I'm sorry. Government complex.
That's right. 482-9779. 482-9779.
482-9779.
There it is.
There it is. That's the
Thank
number.
you so
Give them a
much.
call. And Whitney, always good to see you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
You don't always have to bring these wonderful gifts, but
Well,
if
just
you
wanted to say thanks.
if you decide not to stop you bringing those, that's fine too. All righty. Thank you. We'll be back. He's Rob.
Yeah.
Went long on that last segment on this Fun Friday because
That's fine.
that's all right. We had Whitney Hodges, the tax assessor here, talking about getting that, get that homestead done. Get in there and get the homestead filed. Be sure and pay them bills. Pay them bills. And speaking of paying bills, it's a pleasure for us to pay these bills because we have great sponsors like, a good place to go get you something to eat.
Exit 150.
Just put that blinker on there, get over the right lane carefully, and make that exit 150, and you'll be looking right at the Magnolia Restaurant.
Queen City. Where today? Friday.
Catfish!
Fish Friday! That's right, Fish Friday is today. They've also got red beans and sausage over rice with a couple of vegetables, which is sounding pretty good today with it being a little chilly. And, of course, you got hamburger steak with onion and gravy, fried chicken, fried or grilled pork chops. I mean, I know they put the grilled on there, but fried, and more fried, please. And, of course, they've also got delicious breakfast items to start your day as well. And the Biggie Burger with fries, one of the world-famous hamburgers in the world, is the Biggie Burger down there at the Magnolia Restaurant. The coffee is always hot, and the cornbread, the jalapeno cornbread, is always a famous item there on the menu. And the banana pudding, yes, it is considered a vegetable on the menu at the Magnolia Restaurant. So swing by and see them. Fox News is always on while you're enjoying your breakfast, lunch, dinner, 24/7, folks. They never close. If they got a lock on the door, I'll be surprised. Go by and see them at exit 150 or call ahead with your to-go order at 601-482-0259, 482-0259. And I'm a regular down there just about every week. Magnolia Restaurant, Queen City Truck Stop.
Good hot food all the time.
All the time.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. Look at the monitor. I guess there's a story I missed, Rob, but evidently Christy Nome down in Miami yesterday with the Coast Guard offloading a record $500 million in drugs.
Get them, Christy.
Woo! That's a new day.
Christy and Tom,
Christy and Tom, Tulsi and Trump, all these. Got some good teams there. Oh, now they're showing Michelle Wu from Boston. Okay. We better go back to the fun. Rob, what do you think about the mayor of Boston, Michelle? Oh, okay. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
And now back to airplanes.
Now back to airplanes.
How you doing, Lefty?
I tried to call in, but the Statue of Liberty woman got me before I could ask a question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same response I had. You said they were fixing to retire the F-18?
I think some of them are being retired, some of the older ones, yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize they'd been in service that long.
Well, some of them have, because they've, the thing about the Blues, they've been flying them for many, many years. But
what was before the Buckeye as far as the trainer?
I think it was something called the Wright.
I know where one's at.
I think it was the Wright Flyer.
The Wright Flyer. Oh man!
5 o'clock, Charlie.
I do not know. I'm gonna defer to all my Navy friends to call in and tell us what was before the Buckeye. I wonder if it was the T-28.
Okay. I think it was what they call the Panther. I think, and there's one on display up in Union, Mississippi. Right when you come into Union, or close when you're getting to Union. Maybe
I remember the plane there. That's not a T-33.
You know, Roger, I'm not sure. That's the only one I've ever seen, but
Yeah.
I think that's what they call a Panther. I think that was before the T2, I believe. I mean, that's got to be one of the very first jets.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be close to it.
Yeah.
But those tankers they're flying, aren't those old 707 civilian
Yeah,
nomenclature?
they called them the C-135. It was cargo. Of course, the fueling aspect, they call them the KC-135. And, those are basically 707s. They were refurbished with new engines, avionics, and other upgrades several years ago. And they continue to maintain them. In fact, I think they, if I remember the announcement from Colonel Smith, is the fact that, Going to be flying those for probably another 40 years by now, anyway. Not that the 186 will have them. I'm just saying they will be.
They make cars and trucks last that long.
Yeah. Well, let me explain that to you, Lefty. If you were required by law to take your truck in and have it inspected every year, have it torn apart and all worn parts replaced and reserviced, and you were willing to go through the expense of that thousands of dollars each year to do that to your vehicle would last forever.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm convinced if you take care of it, you can replace the parts as long as you want to, and you don't have to keep trading it in for or go out and get you another one. But when Jimmy called in and said those were F-35s that he saw, maybe that's what I saw. I don't know the difference between the F-22 and the F-35s as far as what they look like. Are there any 22s that fly in out there at Keyfield that you know of?
I think they've been there before, yes. But they're not based there. No, they just Keyfield.
No, I know that they're just hit and run.
Well, Keyfield is a popular. Let's put it this way: Keyfield has gotten the reputation of being an excellent place for government planes to stop and refuel wherever they might be going to or from, because it's easy airspace to ingress and egress. It is, let's see, the ice cream machine, the hot dogs and the popcorn and the other treats seem to kind of add to that.
I've got a flight suit somewhere I can sit down and go out there one day. And I just walked out of my F-22 and I like a hot dog.
Yeah, but it's the airport authority, Tom Williams and the bunch down there. They've done a very good job of making sure that the military folks feel welcomed, and you'll have Army helicopters crossing the area they'll stop in. You've got Air Force, you've got Navy, all those things.
Well, I tell you right now, the Navy does a lot of business out there because those T-45s are coming in all the time. They'll probably start coming in today, as pretty as it is.
Yeah, that's.
But anyway,
it's easier. It's easier for them to land at Keyfield to refuel and debrief than to go through the cycle that they're required to go back through when they land on base. So it's kind of a nice situation.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it makes the coffers for Meridian a little bit better too.
Well, I'll be honest with you, for us private aviators, it does, I think, help keep our fuel prices on the lower side.
Oh, okay. Well, I wish I could put some of that jet fuel in my truck just one time. Yeah.
Well, if you have a diesel truck, that'll be fine. If it's not diesel, your truck won't go very far.
No, I'm talking about that high-octane leaded.
Oh, yeah, the low lead. You're talking about avgas. No, you're talking about avgas.
Yeah. What's the octane on that?
100.
Oh. Well, my old truck would say, I've been revived.
But jet fuel is just oily diesel. I mean, that ain't gonna get you far unless you. And I think it is
oily diesel. I didn't know that. I thought it was pure grade gasoline.
Kerosene.
Kerosene. Yeah,
it's more like kerosene.
Huh. What was it like that old lady, Andy Griffith's movie No Time for Sergeants? He drank some hooch and he said, "Yep. It tastes familiar." And they put a little bit of lighter fluid in there, which is mostly kerosene. He said, it tastes familiar. But, I guess you'd have to see the movie to know what I'm talking about. That was a funny movie, though. Funny. You ever get a chance to watch it? Black and white.
Yeah.
And it is hilarious.
That's where Don Knotts and I think, and Andy Griffith met. So that's where that whole Barney and Andy thing started.
That was a funny movie.
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, well, I would just call in. I just wonder if you knew about that jet sitting on static display up there in Union, and I guess it's actually House, Mississippi, because that's you get to House before you get to Union.
No, I think you're talking about Union. It's there near the ball field there at the intersection there in Union.
Yeah,
you're correct. You're correct the first time. Don't second guess yourself.
that ADHD.
You're like me. You know, you take those tests, those multiple choice tests, and you change your answer because you think you're wrong, and then you find out it was the right one, and you shouldn't have changed your mind.
Yep. You're right about that. Just leave it alone. Go with what you pick.
Go with your impulse. That's right.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm listening, but that's what I had to call in about this.
Yeah.
And
Back to
I'm
airplanes.
Watching the skies down here, over here, whatever.
Yeah.
You just never know what's going to fly in every now and then, but they sure are fun to watch. If you like planes, you know.
It just so happens I do.
Just too noisy.
It just so happens.
Well,
did you live in that flight path during the F4 days?
During when?
The F4s?
Oh, yes, sir, I did. Oh, I was in high school then. I'd be on the landline.
Explains why he's hard to hear it now.
Say, hang on, here comes a phantom. Just wait till it's over, because it was just like something being shot with an arrow, and it was screaming, you know. And it was just so loud, man.
Okay. They were some loud airplanes, no question about it.
Yes, sir, they were. But they sure were nice to watch. They were a mean-looking plane, buddy, with them turned up wings and that vertical horizontal stabilizer turned down. And just wanted to play something like Born to Be Wild or Space Trucker when you heard that thing come over.
And folks, if you don't know what an F4 is, just take a drive down Highway 11 south of the interstate toward the airport, and you'll see there at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, you'll see an F4 Phantom on display.
And that was a big plane, too.
Yeah, big and heavy.
Big plane.
Yep, exactly. Sir, good talking to you. Just keep looking up.
Keep looking up. I will.
There you go.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
Thanks there, Casey.
You remember Casey Kasem?
Oh, I do very much.
And remember, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
Okay, but I can't reach him, Casey.
He's a liar.
And hold that stupid position till I come on next week.
Mornings in Meridian. Hope you're having a good day. We need to talk about those good folks down at
Poivus
Business Machines.
85% savings right now, folks. Lease return color copiers.
Yeah.
You can save 85% right now. Go by and talk to our good buddy Don Lucas, and he can get you fixed up. They sell, service, rent, lease, quality name brand office equipment, those copy machines, printers, the all-in-one devices, and I'm pretty sure the government has them on speed dial for those shredders as well. So call them at 601-693-COPY. That's 601-693-COPY, or drop by and see them at their beautiful showroom at 4505 Highway 39 North in Meridian, or you can visit them online at gopurvis.com. And, of course, they have been servicing our area since 1979. That's right. Service, not excuses, since 1979. They're Meridian's local hometown copier dealer, and they would love to hear from you today at 693-COPY, where you can save up to 85% on those lease return color copiers today with Purvis Business Machines.
You know, those F-35s, the helmets for the pilots are custom made for that pilot. I mean, it's not like you just grab any helmet. Because there's electronics exchange between the helmet and the plane.
Sure.
And that's about, they get anywhere from $300,000 to $400,000 for the helmet. That's pretty interesting.
Wonder how much I can get on Amazon for that. Can I eBay that?
Hey, I got a used F-35 helmet.
It's autographed by the pilot.
Retail about $400,000, but I'll let it go for $25.95 if you pay now.
Plus shipping and handling.
Yeah, that's on you.
That's right. You pay the shipping and handling.
Mornings in Meridian. We're going to take, I don't know where this comes from,
It's
folks.
Fun Friday.
Just hang in there with us. It'll get sane in a minute. Mornings in Meridian, Roger B. along with Rob Atkinson. It's Friday. Aaron Tippin, I forgot how good that song is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's Friday, folks.
You've been rubber stamping, paper clipping,
Button pushing, microphone talking, all that other good stuff. That's Mornings in Meridian. Of course, a big thank you to the folks who make this show possible. And I want to say a big thank you to
Adam.
And Adam.
And Adam.
And Adam.
And Adam.
That's right.
A&A Glass. That's right. A&A Glass, of course, here in Meridian, they have been fixing glass, and they've been number one for, I think I'm losing count at this point, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years. It's just a big streak going right now for A&A Glass. And, of course, they're located at 217 22nd Avenue in Meridian, a couple of doors down from the Children's Museum, or 217 Sela Ward
Parkway.
You did it. You did it.
Of course, they can get your rock picks squared away, rock picks, and, of course, the complete glass replacement. You know, with the way this weather's been changing, we had, 80 degrees or near 80 degrees a couple of days ago, and then it dipped down to below freezing last night. It's going to warm up again. That little star, it could start spreading and spreading and spreading, so you need to go get that fixed today. And don't worry, they work with the insurance companies down there at A&A Glass, and they can get you back on the road real quick like. So they'll be there till 4 o'clock today. Good staff inside the shop as well at 693-GLASS. That is 601-693-4527. Number one in Meridian when it comes to glass replacement and repair, A&A Glass.
A&A Glass. It's Mornings in Meridian. Back to the phones we go. 601-485-9191. Good morning.
Hey, liberals, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. You can be offended. It's Trump Day.
Oh, look at here. Look at here. Go.
That'd be the second verse to Has a song.
Put some more words to that. I'd never heard that before.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, illegal immigrants, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. It's Tom Homan Day.
It's Tom Homan Day.
Hey, Chuck Schumer, there's nothing you can do. AOC, there's nothing you can say. It just goes on and on, Chuck.
Yeah, it does. It does. We'd have a report from our Wounded Warrior Heroes event. We had
yes.
We've got 3 right at 298 in our association, 298 guys who have been through some of the worst stuff you can imagine and made it through it.
Wow.
And as I told them the other day, I said, I just, I get choked up when I get around them guys. I do when I get up and speak in front of them. I said, man, I'm not embarrassed one bit. Y'all went over willing to give your lives, and most of you that are here almost did give your life up so that I could be free. And my family could be free, and we could still do what we did. I said, as far as I know, there's only been one other guy that was willing to give up his life for me, and that was Jesus, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So that puts y'all in pretty high cotton as far as I'm concerned.
There you go.
And it's just, and we had one guy, he didn't show up, and his friends went back. They sent him out there. They got him there. And at the end of the event, he said, I was going to do it. I was going to leave this world. But after this and being around these guys right here, I said, I got a new outlook on things. So maybe we can make that one work. And that's what it's all about. As many of veterans things that's going on, there's still 22 a day taking their lives. We've not got that number down. It's still 22 a day that take their own lives. So, but anyway, we averted that one for now, and hopefully the event. And it was just
When did you get back from the lake? What was it again? Over in Texas.
Toledo Bend.
Toledo Bend. That's what.
Yeah, got back late Wednesday evening, and just unreal time here in the store. So, not all of them talk about it, but I had her ex Green Beret and the things that he has been to. And I can't think of the award. He's only several of them got the award. Went to Washington and got the award he got recently. But he is he's something else. Billy Dobbs is his name. He lives right up in Columbus, and unbelievable human being. All of them are. But it is. They lose everything. A lot of times they lose the families. Their spouses just won't stay with them and go through all they have to go through. And the VA has gotten a little better for them, but it's been a mess for years. And trying to see a good doctor, get their medicines right and stuff like that. It's just unreal what they go through, because of what they done for us. But anyway, we showed those guys a good time.
Well, we had a phone call while you were away from Citizen Solly had checked in.
Yeah, he had to chime in yesterday.
We explained to him why he probably hadn't heard from somebody in response to the Ole Miss and Southern Miss baseball score.
The only thing about this Solid character is that he only calls us after certain games, right? He picks and chooses. If he's going to be the Southern Miss sports reporter, then that's every ball game. He just don't get to pick and choose which one. He calls in after. What was the score? I don't even know.
It was. I think they played Tuesday night. I think, and it was 6-2. So.
6-2. But if he's gonna do it, let's don't do it then. Do the whole deal.
Well, Chuck, while we got you on the air here, I know lots happened while you've been away, but I'm pretty sure you heard us talking about the tax cuts. Well, the income tax, the vote that happened yesterday.
That's why I'm calling. That was the next words out of my mouth.
I figured as much.
Now, there's an do away with income tax win.
All right. Here's the language. I'm quoting the Magnolia Tribune here. It says the measure cuts the current income tax rate of 4% by 0.25% each year until 2030. The first,
you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, the first cut would take place in 2027. After 2031, get this, future cuts would be determined by the performance of the state's economy.
And these clowns want to come back here and brag about to me. Jeff Tate putting on Tate Reed's putting on there that we've cut the income tax. We cut the income tax. Y'all want to brag about that? 30 years, 20 something years, 6 years from now, it may be cut out. No, I don't want it 6 years from now. I want it right now. I want it done. Y'all got to sit over on that big surplus doing every welfare program that comes through over there. Y'all dole out money to it. But you can't have the working people of the state. I hope not one of you that voted for that, and I'm going to find out who did, I hope not one of them that voted for this ridiculousness gets reelected. But anyway.
The vote was 92-27, and on top of that, the bill also proposes an immediate 2% cut to the sales tax on groceries, bringing the rate from 7 to 5% starting July 1 of this year. Now, the measure includes a 3-cent increase on gasoline to occur each year for 3 consecutive years, making the total increase 9 cents per gallon.
So that's, oh man, I'm not gonna get any more upset about that.
Look what you did, Rob. He was all good and up about this visit with the Wounded Warriors.
I gotta go that way.
That's what I was expecting. I expected it would be years down the road before these other states have done it, and they didn't go through decades and decades. When you're sitting over on billions of dollars of surplus money, that means you're overtaxing the people. The people are being overtaxed. If you got that kind of money, help the working man out. Do away with the state income tax like all these other states have done, and get out of our pocketbook. Again, if you voted for it, I'm going to expose you before election time. It probably won't do any good because voters are so bad to get voter amnesia and rhino voters and all that. But hopefully some of you won't go back over there for voting mess like that. But anyway, hey, I'm glad to be home, guys. Good to hear y'all, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you.
All righty. You
know me, I got to pick a scab.
You did. We started with the Southern Miss score, and then,
I mean, let's be honest here on the tax thing. What's your thoughts on this? I think we all expected a phase-out plan was coming.
It's a little bit long to phase it out. And they've left themselves an out by saying the phase-out depends on the economy or the state of the finances. So, you defer this thing out so long that, 4 or 8 years from now, I think people have forgotten about it and they have to make adjustments. It's like, oh, well, what about it? I'm more like Chuck. I'd like to have seen it. Of course, it doesn't affect me anymore. The income tax, I guess, after this year it affects me, but I would like to see it cut immediately because that would help me this year.
Yeah, the grocery tax to keep cities whole, 18.5% of general sales tax and nearly 26% of the grocery sales tax will go to cities. So, we talked about the growth tax. That'll of course, we did mention the other part of this bill, the HB1 that passed in the House. Basically, that was from the Senate to get them on the same page. Also refer to the PERS system, too, with the state retirement for the state employees. So there was a few provisions in there as well to help that system out. So.
Well, and Jimmy Slay called in first. He was the first caller of the show, and he said, the tax reduction is really an increase for him as a retired person because he'll be paying more in the sales tax on the gas tax and things like that, and he's not subject to income tax as it is right now anyway. And so that'll be the same for me. It'll be an increase for me, really, because maybe I get to a point where hopefully I'll be healthy enough to start traveling a little bit, Rob.
Yeah, the only
one
thing
of these days, way in the future.
Yeah, the only thing in this article it doesn't say, like I said, I just got the highlights here, but the gas tax portion of this, it's 3-cent increase per year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 3 consecutive years. So by the end of this, you'll see a 9-cent increase over the next 3 years. Don't know when that first 3-cent increase will happen. It doesn't say that in there, but I'm pretty sure it'll come probably next fiscal year. I would imagine.
I'll go get my Tesla truck.
Imagine you can buy one for cheap right now.
Yeah, I'll get me a spray painted Tesla. That way they won't touch it. It'll already be spray painted.
Gently burnt.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like a roasted Tesla, please.
Please?
No, it's I'm almost thinking about showing support for. I'm starting to think about it. I'm starting to warm up to an electric car there.
Look at you.
I'm thinking, come on now, y'all. Country's gone insane here. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Start traveling.
Oh.
Work every day a week. What do you mean start traveling?
Look at
He hadn't settled down yet.
He's all fired up.
My ears weren't working, and it just come to me. They said the state income tax reduction is based on the revenues, yearly revenues coming in. So the first year we have slow revenues, they'll do away with it.
Yeah.
They won't even get taxed.
Yeah.
So I missed that part. So
yeah.
People out there, listen up what they just said. They're not going to give us any state income tax reduction because it's going to be based on revenues. Revenues are going to go down. That's going to do away with it. But anyway, thanks, guy.
All right. There you go. You heard it right there. It's Mornings in Meridian, and we've got time for another caller. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Hello. You know what? I called Robbie to talk about the person, remember, and then ended up not even telling him what I wanted to tell him, that I'm impressed with the press lady and all of that. But the other part is that if the French had not helped us, we would still be British subjects. And most people don't know that, and that's why they were so impressed with what she had to say.
Yeah, I said that on the show yesterday. I agree with you. I said that yesterday.
I don't know. Exactly. So the whole thing is that if it wasn't for the
and I'm
French
Roger.
people, we would still be British subjects. But the other one, we're talking about aviators now. It is Women's History Month, by the way. And we had a fabulous, phenomenal person in our town. That was Lucille Rosenbaum. Mm-hmm. She was the person who wanted to be a pilot in World War II. And they would not allow her to become a pilot. She wanted to be on the bomber. She wanted to be flying the plane that were going to be dropping bombs all over the place. That's our Lucille Rosenbaum. And what happened, of course, is that because she was a woman, she was not allowed, she wasn't even accepted into the program, but then they needed these men to go away and fight the war, and so they hired her to be teaching pilots. But she is the first person who got her aviator's license. And as a matter of fact, we're so backwards that they gave her the license in her husband's name. So on her pilot's license, which was given to her way back even before I was born 100 years ago, it's given to Mrs. Martiz. I think that man's name was Martiz Wingren or something like that. It wasn't even in her. Yeah, it wasn't even as Lucille. So we need to be proud. If people can start looking up the information about Miss Lucille Rosenbaum. She was the only one in America, actually, who was there teaching at wherever it is she met her husband, that she married and ended up here in Meridian. That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That Rosenbaum.
Yeah, that guy. The guy that was mayor. That guy. You talking about the guy that was mayor?
Yeah,
that guy.
Right.
That guy. Al.
Yeah, no, Al Rosenbaum. No, he was her. Yeah. He was one of her students.
Yeah. Did you?
Did you
remember he flew. He flew Corsairs there in World War II. People don't remember he flew Navy Corsairs in World War II.
Who's that? Mayor Rosenbaum?
Yeah, Mayor Rosenbaum.
Ah, okay. All
Thought
right.
you might like that.
Well,
we got to take a break, Ruth. Thanks for checking and clarifying that.
Wait.
No, we got a break. Wait till next week.
I know that. Okay, that woman is married to a British, a Greek billionaire. That's the one that Trump wanted.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. Thank you. She called back for you, Rob. That was for you.
All right.
If you want Rob's private number, it's 6. No.
It's Friday.
Friday, I'm in love.
I'm in love. Yes. It's a good day, Friday. We're glad you're out there and speeding. We are actually really just breaking the law here, speeding our way to 9 o'clock. Roger, along with Rob this morning. It's been interesting. Thanks to Whitney Hodges.
Yeah.
Coming in here. She's a tax assessor in Lauderdale County. Came in here and talked about getting out there and get your homestead exemption. I like the way she put it. People saying, why is the government asking us to come save money? I say, well, this is the way we can help you with your taxes.
There you go.
She's trying to help. So that's a good thing.
Doing what they can.
So if you are a homeowner, you live in that home, go file your homestead exemption, and then your taxes will be lower this next year. Pretty simple.
Bingo.
Hey, speaking of homes and home ownership, Rob, every once in a while you have to maintain that home.
Yep.
You know, and after about 3 years of my wife telling me I got to fix that toilet in the bathroom, Good sound effect. I like that. Yesterday was the day.
It finally happened.
It happened. Yesterday was the day after I got all my clothes and belongings back in the house.
Wow.
I promised I would go to Barber & Sons and get a part. And, of course, now I had a couple other errands and stops to make. But I was reminded that, oh, my, they close at 4. So I rushed over there, and it was right at 4 o'clock. They were still there kind of getting ready to leave the building. I said, all I need is a fluid master. That's all I need, just the little valve and things like that. So he got that for me, and he was talking about how grateful he was for us, people coming to the counter saying they heard about Barber & Son Plumbing from us. So I just want y'all to know, be aware, they do close at 4 o'clock.
There you go.
Monday through Friday, but they are there early to get you going and take care of you. So, and I told him that we were referring to Barber & Son Plumbing as PU. Plumbers University.
Plumbers University.
He thought that was funny because he does train a lot of plumbers. Because if I had not already known how to install that Fluid Master, he would have explained to me how to do it.
Yeah, made it easy.
And so all that. Anyway, bottom line is, thanks to Barber & Son Plumbing, the commode was repaired, back running again good. And so my clothes are all put back away in the closet and the drawers, and I feel pretty good about life now.
The water is flowing correctly.
That's it.
And the other things, too.
Yep. That's Barber & Son Plumbing. They've got over 80 years in the business. And, of course, I saw Gary Gartman. He's there. Nikki's there. And Gary. So the whole team was, I don't know. Business owners are like employees. When it's closing time, they want to get out of there.
Let me go.
So they were on their way out, but they're good. They're always ready to help and serve you, and good folks down there at Barber & Son Plumbing, right there on 26th Avenue and 12th Street. Pull right to the front door. You don't have to. I see. Just think about that, Rob. Think about it. I didn't have to go to a big parking lot on Hell's Hill or anywhere and go into a long walk into the building and then walk down long aisles and start searching for this thing. I pulled up to the front door. He went back, and I told him, just throw it to me. You know, it's like, hey, let's but he handed it to me. And he told me how much it was, paid him, boom, out the door.
Done.
So that's the way. It's just so much more convenient to go to Barber & Son Plumbing.
Yep, 482-7023.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian, and our time is up. Glenn Beck is looking through the... Shut the door, Glenn. We're not done yet. We've got 30 more seconds, okay?
Stranger danger.
Glenn gets a little pushy, you know.
He does do that.
I'm telling you. All right, well, Glenn Beck is next. Don't forget Clay Travis, Buck Sexton at 11. Don't forget Sean Hannity at 2, and Joe Pags at 5.
And then the great one, Mark Levin.
There you go. Until then, until next week, God bless. Rob and Roger saying,
Buy local.
That's what we're